now is Jose Garcia. He is the CEO and co-founder of Silver X Mining. Great to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Mark, for having us. Very pleased to be here.
Now, you have some exciting news from earlier this week, September 4th, so just 6 days ago as we sit here. We don't want to bury the lead, and we'll get to that, the PEA. But let's just get an overview of the projects in Peru. Large land package down there. You've got 3 mining units. One of them is producing. You hope to have another one producing by 26. So can you start there?
Absolutely. I think SilverX is a small producer in terms of silver and base metals. But what we've really done over the last few years is put together a very attractive resource. I think we are building one of the most attractive silver resources in narrow veins in South America. What you just said is right. We are producing at the moment, but still at a very small scale compared to the real potential of the district. I think we have sufficient ingredients to make sure that we actually take these 5 to 6 times over the next few years.
Right. I want to get into that in a while, the way you intend to grow production. So with the PEA, a lot of numbers stand out. I'll let you talk about most of them, but estimated 6.2 million ounces a year in production, internal rate of return of 69%, very high. So how do you characterize the robustness of the PEA?
I think the metrics are fantastic. What we really want to prove to the market with this PEA is that SilverX will have sufficient ingredients to grow organically and to become a mid-tier producer. The PEA is really good because first, we've got a very good resource with very good grade. We have an existing mill. It's processing as we speak. We're going to increase that capacity in the next 2 years. But in the meantime, we're planning to build a new mill. In other words, we have a relatively large land package, and we are seeing that as a mining complex. So we can envision having 3 mining areas in the next few years with 2 mills. The existing mill, which is 60 plus years of age and still works beautifully, I'm going to build a new flotation mill. With that, the Tangana mining unit, which is at the north of the district, will go from the current 600 to 1,500 tons a day. That's really a very significant production. And we have 2 mining units in the south end of the district, and that will complement it with the existing mill. So by 2028, we see 2 mills, 3 mines, or 2 or 3 mines. Now, the metrics are good. We've projected a pre-production capex of $82 million USD. I think that's really competitive. We're able to do it cheap. We're able to do it fast. That's part of the Peruvian expertise that we got. And we are forecasting 14 years mine life, basically 12 years at full production. As you said, it's 6.2 million ounces equivalent on average, with some peaks beyond 8 million ounces. I think it's one of the most attractive silver projects in terms of pre-production capex and PV is 5x. I think that's fantastic.
And you think you can pretty well fund yourself entirely, like Tangana, for example, in the short term with the cash flow can fund operations, or
no? In the short term,
you need to go to the market.
In the short term, we've got a mandate to improve performance at our mine. As a company, we've been making money for the last year at a project level, but still, our mine still lacks some funding to make sure that we actually accelerate performance. That funding will be extremely beneficial to the company to keep on improving our resource. But for the project construction, we'll be looking for a combination of a project finance, streams, conventional debt, offtake agreements. Why not some equity in the future? Finally, we're having a good market. And for the last few years, it was a struggle to find good money.
Right.
But I think for the years to come, it's going to be easy to build this, especially at these prices.
Okay, for sure. And so project financing is coming. Now, you've said, Jose, that this is a real pivotal time for the company. You're kind of on the threshold of a transformative period. So what do you mean by that? What does that look like if everything goes according to plan?
Well, I think that silver companies are finally getting attention from the public, right? And more importantly, I think there's going to be a great market for producers. SilverX took the path which is a risky path of being both a producer and a developer. We've been great in terms of exploring, in terms of increasing our resource. Now it's time to make that a reality. I think the next 3-4 years are going to be fantastic for silver companies. There'll be also opportunities of taking more projects, bringing more resources, and build that on a fast track. I think it's a pivotal time, not only in terms of the company, the health of the company, in terms of money, access to funds, but also I think silver is finally getting the attention that it deserves. We are seeing silver beyond $40. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw silver at $60 in the next quarter or so. And the valuation of silver companies change dramatically when that happens.
Right. Oh, for sure. And your stock has done very well the last year or so, and so have many others. So back to this production plan to grow it by 6x out to say 20 at 28, maybe over the course of 3 years. You wouldn't throw that number out if you weren't confident, but you're quite confident you can get there.
Since we're confident, we are obviously pending some permits. I think the Tangana mining unit is expected to get approval for that expansion within the next quarter or two. We're crossing our fingers. And obviously, the expansion of the existing mill will happen in the next 2 years. Obviously, we need money to build those sites, but we are confident that in this market, we are going to be able to do it.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're having lots of talks around here at Beaver Creek for sure. Lastly, silver's hot, as we know. Silver stocks are hot, even the juniors. So how do you stand out from peers, do you think? What differentiates SilverX?
Oh, that's a great question. I love silver companies. I look at explorers. I'm in love with so many projects. I like producers, bigger producers, smaller producers. I think there's a market for producers, as I said. I think that producers are going to be re-rated like big time, especially with the silver right. And I believe that the fact that we are in production with a big asset is going to be really well rewarded in the market. At that point in time, I think that why not? There's going to be some consolidation going forward. So I wouldn't be surprised if in a span of 2 or 3 years, we see much bigger mining companies, silver mining companies emerging as a consolidation play. I think that's going to happen.
Interesting. So M&A on the horizon too. Usually happens when prices are rising, right?
And absolutely. We're really looking forward to acquiring more projects. I think that plays back to our skill set. We are good explorers, good operators. We like taking that risk. And I think there's very few producers. Look at silver producers. How many do you know?
Right.
Like 10, 15, no more than that.
Yeah.
Okay. Want to be a bigger producer, actually.
All right. Sounds good, Jose. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay. Jose Garcia, he is the CEO and co-founder at SilverX Mining.